We had some really great successes this past week. A lot of our clients have done really well this week. Got ahead of the game. They're working really strongly about their personal recruiting and hiring new staff. They're focusing very strongly on keeping their eyes on the target, and I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk to you about keeping your eyes on the target. So I chose today a few things that I want to talk about how to become top, the top 5% profitable salon owners. Any service business right now is needs to evaluate where are they with their profit margins. Where are they? You had a few months now to assess how's your business is really doing compared with what it did before, and where do you want to take it. So the number one thing to do is to see, well, how are you profitable? So anybody who relies their production based on time needs to assess their time. And the number one thing that we want to take into consideration is, what is your target goal? What is the target goal? So the first thing I want you to think about is really get ever so crystal clear, HD clear, and what is your target? What is your target? What do you want? What do you want in terms of want? I want you to ask yourself, what do you want? Do you want to have financial security? Do you want to have a certain financial security? Do you want to have a great team? Do you want to have some really good amount of time that you can utilize so you can reinvest in something else, so you can have time with your family, so you can have time to do the things that you really want to do, so you can lead, because you do need time to lead, right? So I want you to really think, in order to get the target, the clarity on the target of what is it that you want. You might say, well, I want to have a great team. Well, great. To do what? Why do you want to have a great team? So think about it. So if you wanted to have, for example, a really great financial security, what would that financial security look like? And we spoke about that. So I want to bring to it and set up a goal. What is the goal? And we're ending quarter three. What would you want to have an end of quarter four? And how do you want to set yourself up to the first quarter that comes next? 15% consistent profit. I love that. Now, how do you get there, Scott? How do you get there? Now, for somebody like you, Scott, who is already the top 5% most profitable salons in the world, what would that look like? What would that number be? So if it's a specific target, what would that target be? So it's 15% according to Scott. So start and think about, what is 15% consistent mean to me? Maybe it means that it's an additional of $2,000 a month. Maybe it means $10,000 a month. So let's think about that and put it out in that right there on the maybe what you want to do is, when you take the target and you say 15%, in reality, that means maybe $5,000 consistency a month. So 15% would be that number, okay? So I'm going to go and I'm going to hang it right here, right there, so I can see it. Okay, that's my target. That's my eyes. I'm going to keep my eyes on the target this whole time. $150,000 a year is a phenomenal, achievable goal, right? You must know that. Now, once you know your target right away, thank you, Scott, for this. The next thing that we want to do is have a week list. What are we going to do this week to make that happen? Now, we're not going to make it over $1 million a year. I love that. Okay, it's getting larger, Scott. What do we need to do in order to get that one? But I love you. Anyway, so a week list, target goals to keep your eyes on the target. What would you do to make that happen? Any ideas? What would you do to make that happen? So if you can write down, this week I want to achieve 3 goals. In order for me to get closer to my target, for the third quarter. So if that means that I need to wake up in the morning every day at 4:30 in the morning and work out for 1 hour, and then have 1 hour thinking about the things that I can do. So I don't want you to think about how you're going to do it. I want you to think what you need to do in order to make it happen. So maybe the number one that you can do is create a new service. Or maybe the second thing that you can do is create a promotion for retail promotion. For example, buy three, get one free. Or maybe you want to create a promotion that brings you a new clients. Right now, within the next few months, we're going to see a lot of opportunity of getting new clients. So how are you marketing to it? So what I want you to think is get focused, get very focused on what is the target that you want in the next 3 months. Once you set the goal and you have the target, you're going to go to create a list of things that you can do to achieve it in 3 months. And what are you going to focus this week alone to get that? Now, Scott is being funny right now, but he can tell you that's how he achieves his goals from 1 week to another, from 1 month to another. The next thing I want you guys to understand is the understanding how you're making your money and how you measure your profitability. So we're going to talk about profitability and how to become top 5% earners, you know, in the industry. But before we're going to hit all of these subjects, and we're going to do it pretty much during the week, what I want you to write down is where do we start? Where do we start? How can we measure our success? To measure our success is, again, we measure our time success, right? We sell time right now, but we also sell value, and we're going to talk about value in a different time. So what I want you to do is to write down 1 hour. 1 hour. What are we doing in 1 hour? How productive and how successful are you in 1 hour? What does that mean? Let's see. What is your cost? What is your income per hour? So if you can take the total sales that you bring in and divide it by how many hours that you are productive, you will know what is the amount of income that you bring, capital that you bring in 1 hour. So if you took all your staff and all their hours together combined versus the hours that they actually booked. So say, for example, they had 500 hours for sale and they only sold 250 hours. That means they were 50% booked. So those 250, take the total sales, divide by that, and you know exactly what is your production by 1 hour. And the next thing I want you to do is tell yourself what is the cost. So take all your expenses, the total expenses a month, and divide that by 250. Now, when you do that, you're going to find out your profit, your margins, which basically mean if you bring $50 an hour and $50 goes out the door, you're not profitable at all. As a matter of fact, you're digging yourself into a big hole, and you can't afford that right now, right? So I want you guys to get really, really excited because we're going to talk about a lot of things that you can do in order to bring that hourly rate up, and how to utilize your time correctly. So let's think about it. As a salon owner, do you have the time to create that goal-setting machine? Because your company can become such a goal-setting machine, but such a goal-achieving machine. And I want you to do that. I want you to come to be the top 5%. Top 5% successful salon owners know exactly how much money they are bringing in 1 hour and what is the cost. And you always want to be at least at 20% above cost. So find out what it is and join me again in next time when I'm going to live right here at Salon, Profitable Salon Owners. Tomorrow at Huddle Time with Ronit at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have Leon Alexander showing us the future model of salons. And I'm inviting you to join us. It's going to be an eye-opening for all of us because we're going to be talking about concept and design and retail and what opportunities do we have and a lot of great solutions. So join us tomorrow at Americans Beauty Show on Facebook Live. I'm going to be there hosting at Huddle Time with Ronit Live. Leon Alexander, who uh, is a phenomenal man. He's been in the industry for years. He started with Vidal Sassoon. He moved there from owning salons and retail products, and now he has been in the business redesigning the models, uh, literally designing the models of salons and how you can now um, build to the future. And the future is here. So thank you for coming. Thank you for tuning in. And if you guys have any comments, or would you like to see or feel or ask any questions that can eliminate any challenge you have right now, bring it on. If I don't know that answer, I will bring that answer to you. Thank you, guys. Talk to you really soon. Have a fantastic, profitable week.